It's time!
I feel like the grass is green, and everything I do is unseen. But I know that's just in my mind. I know everything is just in my mind. Do you really want to be famous? Do you really want to be a superstar? Do you really want to get dangerous? Do you even know where to...
Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Not really happy, but it is what it is. It's your boy Hammer from Hammers.House. We're here this morning to do a quick recap and breakdown of the Raiders' loss, their second consecutive loss of the season to the Chicago Bears 20-9 yesterday at Allegiant Stadium. Hope everybody's doing well. For those that are coming in, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all the social medias in the overlay. I don't even want to say I'm calmer than I was yesterday, but we're going to get right into this shit because it's just I'm still kind of at a loss of words for what I saw and what transpired in that loss yesterday. So let's get into it. We're going to go down the line with team stats first, and then we'll talk about some other things moving forward. Again, the final score was 20-9. That puts the Bears at 3-2 right now, and the Raiders are 3-2 as well. They are 2-1 at home. That was their first loss at home. Go figure. First downs for the Bears, 19-16 for the Raiders. Total plays, it was 60-60. 252 total yards for Chicago, 259 for the Raiders. This is the second straight game that they've been held under 260 total yards. The last time that happened was... Let's see if I could find it because I was just reading about this before. I know it was the second in a row from a couple of years back when they lost to the Broncos and I believe it was the Ravens in back-to-back years. So I believe that was 2018 because I was actually in Baltimore when that happened. So, yeah. Let's go. 10 total drives for each team. Yards per play, 4.2 for the Bears, 4.3 for the Raiders. 188 passing for the Raiders, 109 for Chicago. Rushing 143 yards for the Bears, 71 for the Raiders. That offensive line is fucking killing us, but we'll get into that shortly. Penalties, 8 for 70 yards for Chicago, 10 for 82 for the Raiders. Time of possession, 32:02 for Chicago, 27:58 for the Raiders. Game leaders, 12 for 20 for Justin Fields, 111 yards and a touchdown. Derek Carr, 22 for 35, 206 and an interception. Khalil Herbert, that is, 18 carries, 75 yards. Josh Jacobs, 15 carries, 48 yards and a touchdown. Receiving yards, Darnell Mooney, 3 receptions, 35 yards. Hunter Renfrow, 6 receptions, 58 yards. This is just... I'm trying to keep it together this morning, but it ain't going to last very long. Where are we at? So as you guys know, this past week, the Wall Street Journal, excuse me, the Wall Street Journal reported some emails from John Gruden that went out to DeMaurice Smith about 10 years ago and definitely served as a distraction for the team this entire week. I know that's not an excuse, but things like that, it's just... The hell? My bad. I don't know how that happened. What's up, Key? So the emails came out this past week. He was actually interviewed after the game and pretty much said he's not a racist, this, that, and the third. He apologized, whatever. I believe it was Saturday it came out that there were also some remarks that were made towards the commissioner, Roger Goodell, as well. They're not going into full detail of what was said on that, but, you know, right away with this whole thing. He's a racist. Da 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 da. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with any of this, but I'm not too thrilled right now that we had to have this happen to us in the middle of a season. As we're prepping for another opponent after our first loss of the season, I don't feel that the controversy is going to be going away anytime soon. For those that were watching ESPN NFL Countdown yesterday morning, Randy Moss said that the locker room, in his opinion, is divided. I don't think he knows that for a fact because he doesn't really mess with Raider Nation like that. But I would not be surprised. Not an excuse to come out and perform the way they did. They should have came together even just for the players and made a statement. And obviously that couldn't happen yesterday. They were just shut down. Khalil Mack got his first win against his former team and was beating Derek Carr all around yesterday. That offensive line, regardless of us making the slight little changes of moving Alex Leatherwood to the interior offensive line and putting Brandon Parker at the right tackle position, didn't help the cause at all. Our run game was god-awful. Can't seem to get anything going. Josh Jacobs, 12 carries, 41 yards? Like, that's terrible. Terrible. The defense, we're out Trayvon Mullen. Arnett, I could care less about because he's not that good of a defensive back anyways. Amik Robinson got smoked a couple of times yesterday. The linebacking core, more Nick Kwiatkowski. Bro, you can't cover, and you're not the answer at linebacker for this new revamped defense right now. Like, clearly you're not. There's a lot to figure out this coming week. We have a division we have another matchup within our division against the Broncos. We're home again. Everybody in the division right now is sitting at, I believe, everyone is 3-2. I gotta look that up again, but I know that everybody's pretty much neck and neck in that division, and that's a scary thought right now going into this week against a team that has a pretty solid defense. They did lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday. Let me see what the record is right now. The Chargers are in first place. They are 4-1. They beat the Browns yesterday. Everybody else is 3-2, with the exception of the Kansas City Chiefs, who are now 2-3 after losing to the Buffalo Bills last night. I feel that something, regardless, what up, Raider Ben? Let me just put this up. Horrible game yesterday. John Gruden needs to be held accountable. Horrible play calling, no adjustments, and letting Andre James experiment continue, knowing it don't work. Absolutely. Nick Martin should be the starting center right now for the Raiders, and that's another thing. Like, you have two of the weakest guys on the line right now, and you're still continuing to have them play, especially Andre James, who is definitely a casualty. It's starting to hit me again where I'm getting more and more pissed off about this loss, but I do feel this whole shit with Gruden, I give it another 24 hours at least. Granted, he was not working for the NFL at the time that this went out. This was during the time that the lockout happened. This was 2011. He was working for ESPN at the time. I truly believe that somebody's going to come down on him by tomorrow where they make a decision and say he's either suspended for X amount of games, has to get some type of treatment. I forget what it's called right now because I'm still just waking up. Sensitivity class training, that bullshit, and or potentially fired. But I do feel that this will come down most likely tomorrow, Wednesday the latest, if anything. If in fact something comes down on him, but I'm talking about that because it truly was a distraction. But at the same time, like the play all around yesterday was terrible. Renfro was the only one that seemed to play with some heart yesterday. You had that one deep ball to Edwards that was in his hands and he just dropped it. Like, dude, what are we doing? I did mention when Edwards was drafted that the one thing he needed to work on more than anything else coming into the league was his hands. But something like that, one that you were standing right there for and couldn't catch, nah. The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expect absolutely. And they're gonna keep doing this shit with as long as John Gruden is there, as long as John Gruden does the play calling on offense, this is where we are not going to be able to execute and do what we have to do. Again, we were shut down under 260 yards for the second consecutive week. The last time that happened was 3 years ago in the losses to the Ravens and the Broncos. Shit has to turn around, and shit has to turn around quickly. We are now 5 games in. We're going up against a division rival this coming Sunday in Denver, who's trying to hold their own. They were looked at by Vegas to finish second in the division, and it's more because of that defense than anything else. Things have to change. I had people yesterday going off about Gus Bradley and his defense. You can't blame the defense, man. Well, you can't put a little bit more pressure on the quarterbacks and be able to stop the run game, and you're already halfway there with being successful on a week-to-week basis. And clearly that couldn't happen yesterday when you're rushing for over 141 yards by the Bears. Again, this shit just has me really, really pissed off this morning. For those that are in here, hit that like button. You can ask me questions in the comment box. I'm not staying on long. I do got to go to work in the next hour and a half, but I wanted to get on here. Last night was just not the right time for me to even talk about this. John Gruden play calling this predictable shit. I'm just live streaming as a YouTuber, and I'm calling the plays out. No, you're absolutely right, and some of this shit just blows your mind. That conservative shit. Obviously, your run game is not it right now because you have a young, weak offensive line. I don't care that Leatherwood's a rookie. I don't care if his feelings were hurt that they said, dude, you suck. We're moving you to the interior. Andre James got paid that money for God knows what because you were a backup to Hudson for the longest time. You do not need to be starting right now. Nick Martin, give him a shot this week. This is an important game as it's a division rival. We need this win this weekend. Try to get this shit out of your head with Gruden. Focus on each other as a team. Let him fucking worry about his own issues. Worry about each other, taking care of each other, and winning together as a team. That should be the priority right now. I kind of got tired of hearing about it, but obviously I'm not going to not talk about it. It's a shitty situation right now. And yeah, I could be a little bit more pissed off than I was last week because that was our first L. It was better to catch that earlier than later. But it's like we came into this week and we had the loss, and then one new thing comes up, and one distraction comes up, and that was it for us. You have a quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater this season to look forward to. That I'm going to try to pull up his stats real quick and see what the hell he's been doing because the team has been winning. It really is taking a lot in me right now not to lose my shit the way I want to. But again, I also just woke up, so I'm trying to maintain. Let's pull up some Teddy Bridgewater stats real quick. So far this season, Teddy Bridgewater has 1,180 passing yards, which is 23rd in the league, 7 touchdown passes, which is tied for 16th, 1 interception, and a QBR of 58.5, which is 11th in the league. Yesterday, he had a QBR of 41.7 with a 63.2 completion percentage, 288 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the loss to the Steelers. Pull up some of these other guys. Go to the depth chart. Actually, do this. So rushing yards right now, here are the team leaders. Obviously, Bridgewater, I just gave you his numbers. Rushing yards for Melvin Gordon, 282 so far this year. Cortland Sutton, 377 receiving yards. Tackles, Kareem Jackson with 28. Interceptions, Kareem Jackson. Your safety has 28 tackles. He's leading your team in tackles. I don't necessarily think that's a good defense. If your safety leads the league, then we got a problem. That means that's a problem. Your safety should not be the leading tackler on your team right now. So there's something to potentially expose, but at the same time, we need to know that our offensive line is going to be able to do shit to give Carr time to make plays happen. That one interception yesterday, I wasn't too thrilled about. I feel like right now, after, I don't know, you call it a hangover of being 3-0 or whatever, but we are slowly just going back to our old ways. Penalties, 10 penalties for 81 yards. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Where's the discipline? I know Leatherwood got called for another penalty yesterday, too. I think it was a holding. It wasn't a false start this time. Go figure. He's got like 9 or 10 penalties for the year. That's not a good look for your offensive line. DT blow up Jacobs while they're playing. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Something's got to give this coming week, and I will do my best to give you guys a couple of videos throughout the week. Probably I'm going in late tomorrow, so I could do one midday tomorrow, and we can get more people in here. I know people are still waking up, and the East Coast, I think they're just getting up. But we're definitely gonna talk more about this and talk about other things this week as the Raiders prepare to battle the Broncos. But I'm going to get going. I know this is a quick video. I needed to put something out there for you guys. I said it during the live with Spotlight Raider Talk last night that I was going to do something this morning. I was just trying to keep myself a little contained and in check. We'll talk more tomorrow. If not, if there's any type of news during the day today, I'll try to get on for a quick video late this afternoon or early this evening, and we'll talk a little bit more. But guys that did come in here, thank you for joining. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do my best to keep bringing out more and more Raider content when I have the little time I do. For those that know my line of work, I'm about to go in and do a 12-hour right now. But thank you guys so much. For those that did come in, spread the word, get your people in here. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. We're a little over 300 right now. 500, I will do, yes, the one chip challenge for all of you to see. Guys, continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. In the words of Logic, put your ego on the shelf and remember, love yourself. I'm out.
It's time!
I feel like the grass is green, and everything I do is unseen. But I know that's just in my mind. I know everything is just in my mind. Do you really want to be famous? Do you really want to be a superstar? Do you